questions for Joe? Gary.
Joe, what happened there in the last 5 minutes? It just seemed like you guys couldn't score, and they just made every play.
Yeah, they made every play, and like I said, even throughout the end of the fourth quarter, I thought we generated some good looks, and then I thought we had some live ball turnovers, and they took advantage of it. So they made the necessary plays to win. We put ourselves in position to do that, and we just didn't make the plays.
You guys, two days off. How do you respond from this? This is just another blown 20-point lead. Exactly your worst nightmare. How do you come back from this?
You just take a look at it, figure out where you have to be better, and put a full 48 minutes together. So have an understanding that it's going to be difficult, but that's why we do what we do, and figure out where we have to get better and do that.
Joe, what was the thought process with not calling timeout there with 12 seconds left?
Had one left, got a good look on the exact same play 20 seconds earlier, tried to execute the exact same thing. They did a job of their lower pickup point, and we weren't able to get the advantage that we had on the last Tatum dunk. So good full court setting. They subbed out Towns, weren't able to sub out Brunson, had action there, and we just didn't execute.
And then but how much is the time consideration a factor there with 12, giving yourself a couple cracks at it? If you advance the ball there potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't know that at the point of JT was driving left. Thought he had a good look, saw it at an angle, didn't shoot it, and ran out of time.
Joe, just from an emotional standpoint, just how stunning is this for your team? You've come back from a lot of different things over the course of the past couple of years, but kind of where's your mindset at right now after certainly a stunning one?
Figure out where we have to be better, watch film tomorrow as a team, and move on to the next game.
Joe, you talk about poise a lot. It's 2 straight fourth quarters at home that you guys haven't been able to execute down the stretch. What has gone into that?
I'd say it's probably 60-40. I thought we executed and got some really good looks that we missed, and then I thought we had some live ball turnovers, just making the wrong read in that. So I'd say it's about 60-40, where when we got some open looks, we got to make them, and then we got to do a better job executing, especially not having live ball turnovers.
And I know this is a lot of hindsight here, but last season you guys found a lot of ways to win close games, and then in the playoffs you did the same. This year, when you had the rough patch, you were finding a lot of ways to lose these tough games, and that habit, for lack of a better word, seems to be coming back. Do you see a correlation there? Was there something from earlier this season where you weren't finishing games off like this that's coming back to bite you now?
I think regardless of what time of the year it is, if you don't, when you get the shot, if you don't execute it, and when you have live ball turnovers, you make the necessary plays to be able to win. It puts pressure, and you're playing against a really good offensive team that can generate the same type of shots, and I thought they made them, and we didn't tonight, and you can't turn it over in those situations either.
What have they done to force Jason into a couple of inefficient games here, and what does he need to do to combat the way they're defending him?
I think game one wasn't inefficient, as I thought he just missed some really good looks. I thought today he passed up some ones that he was able to take, and so their switchability, their ability to impact shifts, definitely impacted him tonight. So I thought he missed some easy layups in the beginning of the game. I thought he missed a couple there in the third quarter, but they do a good. OG Anunoby's a good individual defender, and they have good shifts and help behind.
Sure, what went behind Hack and Mitch to put them into the bonus, and then they just simply pulled him out and put Anunoby in?
He's a plus 21, and he's really effective for them. And that's something that we need to do. We need to do a better job in those minutes. Is be more effective when he's on the floor. So plus 19, sorry.
So it's just kind of basically getting him off the floor. Like that was the.
If you can, yeah. We have to do a better job of offensively attacking him, attacking the team when he's in. And, obviously he poses a threat on the offensive end with his offensive rebounding. So we have to do a better job of winning those minutes for, him to be plus 19. He's one of the reasons why they were able to win the game tonight.
Similar to that, Joe, do you look at the result there, kind of what follows that, and take that into account, or do you generally kind of feel like that's the right approach in that situation is to get him off the floor and foul him there?
What do you mean?
Like they go on a run. Towns goes at Horford right after that and gets a 3-point play. They end up winning the game right after that. Do you see that as related, or do you kind of see
No,
that
it
as
has nothing to
strikeouts?
do with it. On the 3-point play, there was a pin and screen for Brunson. We just had a miscommunication. They sent 2 with the ball, and then Josh Hart got a layup, and then that led to a Towns offensive rebound. So those 2 things don't go together.
So you're good with the decision to foul Mitch there?
Yeah. He's a plus 19. All their starters were in the negative.
Joe, you stay even keeled after losses. Like, it's just on to the next, but at the same time, like, no one likes losing. Is there any part of it that, like, can use that frustration or the anger after a loss to, like, go into the preparation of the next game, or is it a completely, like, clean slate after a game like
I mean, you're down 2-0 heading on the road, so you have an understanding of your environment, what you're up against. There's also obviously a lot of things that we're doing well, but then there's things that we need to be extremely better at in those situations. So, obviously you have an understanding of the environment. You're down 0-2, so we got to get on the road and we got to find a way to win.
Joe, you mentioned that Jason was passing up some shots early on. Did you feel like the 63s from game 1, maybe kind of they overcorrected a little bit? And did you feel like anything about the 20-point lead with 4 minutes to play, like there was a little bit of that looming memory that that lead was blown in game 1? Like, did you feel like there was any impact?
I don't think so. No, I think he just tries to make the right play or the right read on each and every possession.
Joe, on the live ball turnovers and misses in the fourth, do you feel like that's some inefficiency on your group's part, or do you feel like the Knicks are also obviously taking things away and making them difficult?
Yeah, I mean, you got to give them credit. They're a well-coached, good team. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's both. I think it's on us. It's on me. Call better plays. It's on them, our guys, to make better reads. And obviously, the Knicks are doing a good job defending us.
Joe, the fact that you guys were so terrific on the road this year, and after these 2 losses, only the 3rd time in this year you've lost 2 in a row. Do you take solace in the fact that your team almost has played better? They have played better on the road this year.
I mean, just take solace in the fact that we got a chance. We have a challenge ahead of us, and we got a chance to go after it together, and we got to do it. So we don't really have a choice, and just got to figure it out.
Obviously, the way these losses transpired, it's unusual to have the 2 20-point leads late in the second half. How do you avoid, a mental fracture from that and not let something like this affect guys' mindset and kind of focus moving forward?
I mean, I don't think that'll happen. I just kind of trust the type of guys that we have. At the end of the day, we got to just find a way to win. Done it before. We just got to, continue to try to do that. Thank you.
Coach, what can you say about your team? Back-to-back games, 20-point deficits, coming away with 2 victories.
Yeah, and that's the playoffs. You got to keep fighting. Every possession matters, and you got to play all 48 minutes. And so we started slowly, got in a big hole, dug our way out, and then guys made a lot of tough plays. They were at their best when their best was needed down the stretch.
Coach, as far as I know, this is the first time in the NBA playoff history all the road teams won game 1, and the second game you won. There is no more home court advantage in NBA?
It seems like it's changing, so I think just the way the game goes now, you can make up ground, I think, a lot quicker, with the way teams shoot threes. And I know, like, for the writers who are around us, they always think every lead is safe, but it's not. And so everything does matter.
Tom, on that last play, just, I guess, walk us through a little bit. It looked like Mitch and OG basically forced him to the left, and what you saw from there. Yeah, and I thought there was good team defense on that. There was a swarm, and Tatum is so tough when he gets any speed and he's going downhill. So you need bodies in front of him, and then the pursuit from behind is also important. But I thought in the fourth quarter our defense was outstanding, and that's what we need to do for the entire game. And I was still really concerned about the rebounding. We have to fix that.
Obviously, you don't want to get in the habit of 20-point comebacks. But what does that say about the character of this team?
Well, always have the belief, I think, in each other. I think you get to the playoffs, it's about really your mental toughness, your defense, and your teamwork, and always having the belief that you could do something better and you could find a way to win, right? So it's a long game, keep playing, and that's what they did. And this team has been that way all season long. You know, we dealt with, you know, Mitch being out more than the first half of the season. Then Jalen took the injury in March, and just they kept marching forward, and I think that's important for us. Thought Mitch gave us a huge lift off the bench. Cat was, you know, huge, had the big putback. You know, I think Mikhail, the way he scored in the fourth was huge for us. It gave us a lot of confidence. And then, you know, Jalen, you know, that's Jalen. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on in the game. He's going to be at his best when his best is needed. Timely plays, but there was a lot of hustle plays in there as well.
As it pertains to Mikhail, you always talk about he's one of those guys that puts in the work. And this is the second game in a row he's come up big in the fourth quarter. What have you learned about him? What does it say about his makeup for him to keep shooting and keep going after those first two quarters?
I think one of the things I really respect about him is his demeanor. You know, he just keeps marching forward, and he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, but he's a great competitor. And so just find ways to help us win. And if your shot's not dropping, play great defense, move without the ball, push the ball up the floor. I thought we got some fast break baskets in the second half. I thought that helped us a lot as well.
Hey, Tom, when you guys are down 20, Miles comes in, and how much of a spark do you think that was?
Yeah, I think he and Mitch, you know, because we were flat, and I think they came in and they provided a spark and got us going. We got some stops, and we got into the open floor. A couple shots went down, right, and then everyone started feeling a lot better. And then once we got it inside 10, we always have the belief that, you know, we can win.
Tom, with Mitch, he's been on a lot of these switches during these first two games, and he seems to have really held his own in most of those situations. When did you feel like he was really somebody who you trusted guarding perimeter players out there?
About 4 years ago.
It was there because early in his career he hung
well
around
the first
rim.
thing, he's got great feet and anticipation. So I think the challenge was when we first got here was he's really got it's not only his defense, but he's very disciplined. And I think that was probably the piece, like for most young players. Once he got to know the players better, and then learning how to become the second jumper, I think all those things helped eliminate, you know, the reckless fouls. And he's a huge factor. He's a hard guy to score over. You know, so even if you score over him, it's going to be a tough shot. And so I think he's learned that. He doesn't whack down anymore. Those cheap fouls are gone.
Tom, when you think about the clutch, a lot of people consider that offensive, but now this is the second time that Mikhail's come up big. The game on the line on defense.
Yeah.
Is clutch defense a thing?
Yeah, you know, like people always talk about offensive runs. I think you go on defensive runs as well. You also go on rebounding runs. You'll see guys, you know, all of a sudden, you know, they have, like Josh is a prime example. All of a sudden, you know, he has 2 or 3 rebounds, and then he'll get like 4 or 5 in a row. You know, so it's like making shots. And so I think whatever it takes for us to win, like Carl had the big and one, you know, like Mikhail with timely baskets, Jalen with timely baskets, Josh with his hustle, you know, Mitch all over the floor, you know, switching, guarding, great impact. But that's a team working together.
I mean, it was no secret that you guys got both he and Mikhail, but, you know, not for Boston, but with Boston in mind. And to hold, you know, Tatum and Brown to what they did tonight, they did the first 2 games, is that kind of what you envisioned?
Well, not necessarily. I think a premium has been put on long wings in the league, you know, so, and versatility. So guys who can guard 2, 3, 4, and even, you know, point guards as well. So we got them because we felt they were good players and they could, you know, make us better. And I think the length at that position, at the wing position, is huge because you're asking guys, particularly with 5 out, to get in, protect the paint, but also to get out and cover the line. And then when the ball gets shot, to also rebound. So I think the length is very important. And, you know, and just having the versatility to play 2, 3, and 4, what it also allows you to do is do a lot more switching.
All right, a couple more.
Coach, how critical is Hart's offense, given that they're helping a lot off of him digging, and how critical is it for him to just make shots and make plays and when the time comes?
Yeah, and I think you saw like a variety of, the way he scored, like the transition and the pace are like his strengths. And then he's real clever. He plays a lot bigger than his size. So the rebounding, but also the finishing ability inside. But then he's worked a lot on his shooting. If you leave him open, he's not hesitating, just let it fly. But I think that's huge for us. And particularly if you're going to overcommit, right, we got to trust the pass, trust each other, trust your teammates, and you're going to have an advantage on the backside. Anytime you put two on the ball, there's advantages in other areas. And so same thing, Carl gets double-teamed all the time, Jalen gets double-teamed all the time. So just trust each other, make the right play, and usually the second pass against the blitz or the double team in a post is going to get you a high-quality shot. I am. No, that's the beauty of the playoffs, and it really, you can't get wrapped up in the emotions of it. I think it's important, you look forward to the next game, but to understand, okay, it's a series, but you have to focus on the game that you're playing. What is it going to take to win that game? So we know each game, right? There's going to be more force and more aggression in it, and we have to be ready for that. And so all we have to do is make sure that we're focusing on what it's going to take to win Game 3.
Coach, the Celtics took 20 fewer three-point attempts but shot the same percentage, 25%. I know it was a concern about how many shots of three-pointers the Celtics get up. Like, how impressed were you, and what was that a key to allowing you guys to come back and win, holding to that percentage, even though they took?
Yeah, and again, it's hard to say. Like, I want to look at the film to look at quality of their shots. They have a style of play. I think they do a terrific job. They're strong on both sides of the ball. So we know we have to play for 48 minutes against them. And if you give them open shots, they're going to make them. If you give them a second crack at it, they're going to make you pay. And it's not just, it's their transition also. And then what they do on the offensive board to get the kickouts and a second and third look at it, they're very quick to the ball. So we have to make sure that we're putting bodies on. Yep.
NBA